Our next award, Digital. This recognition of your visionary leadership and transformative efforts to embrace digital innovation, you are honored as the Digital Transformation Leader. Your strategic vision, technological expertise, and commitment to harnessing the power of digital technologies have revolutionized business processes, driving efficiency, agility, and growth.
And the Digital Transformation Leader of the Year award goes to Ziaad Suleman.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a pleasure to be with you this evening. As we reflect on the number of esteemed leaders that have come before me, it is amazing to hear the magnificent words of encouragement and inspiration that this room beholds. But beyond this, there are many other leaders that don't sit in our midst that have equally transcended our environment to make such meaningful progress for the position that we currently have the privilege of being in. So before I start, let me acknowledge the Almighty, otherwise there would be no being, and without whom we would never ever be at the places we stand. I'd like to also acknowledge my parents, and I'd ask you to stand if you don't mind. I've got my mum here in the front and my dad at the back. For their tremendous sacrifice through difficult days at the beginning, but believing in education and sacrificing the world to give us that education in order for us to leapfrog and try and make a difference in the world. And my wife, Fatima, who's sitting here in the front, and in their absence, my daughters, Miriam, Tasmia, and Sophia, and my sister, who have been steadfast in supporting the journey to get us to where we are. But ultimately, like many of the other leaders have said, there are many, many other people that actually have raised us up. And those people in the work community and in the ecosystem that we operate in have really allowed us to flourish and have shared like-mindedness in order to get us here. So for me, it's an absolute pleasure to be representing Cassava Technologies as the CEO for South Africa and Botswana. And, I'd really like to acknowledge our team. So I'd ask you to stand up, please, so I can acknowledge you. Standing at the back. Thank you. And for me, that acknowledgement is about people that stand with you and dig with you in the trenches every single day. The life of a CEO sometimes is very lonely, as many of you leaders will know. But ultimately, it's the people that you work with that give you the inspiration and the belief to continue day in, day out. And when you look at your people in your organization and you see those people with livelihoods of many others in their hands, that's continued inspiration. And for us at Cassava Technologies, we are extremely blessed to be in the position that ultimately we are leading this digital transformation, not only for South Africa, but for the continent. As a true Pan-African continental leader, we really transcend boundaries, and we're standing up to the world's juggernauts because we are creating this landscape of technological revolution. A revolution that is based on inclusivity. A revolution that gives people purpose and hope and allows people to express themselves and rise forth to be part of a productive future. This productive future is ultimately not about simply, being in an environment where you can only express yourself in that environment. It allows you to really permeate borders, and that's what technology does. I want to sketch the value of technology in today's revolution. We often speak about revolutions in the world of technology, but we don't fully express what it actually means and how it gives people the ability to transcend boundaries. And as I reflect, I'd like you to reflect. If you think about today's technological revolution of the fourth industrial revolution, we have the power of connectivity. which allows people to participate in technology, in the world of the fourth industrial revolution, and to transcend boundaries. Because without technology and without connectivity, you don't have a game. What we need is we need the connectivity to be at an affordable price point, accessible enough, meaningful enough, with the proper applications to allow people to stand up and take advantage of this revolution that we have today, which really allows us to close the gap. And I want to bring that back for you. If we then move further forward, at Cassava Technologies, we've recently done a partnership with NVIDIA, which many of you will know is the biggest and best tech business in the world. What that has allowed us to do is bring GPU supercompute to South Africa. So with more than 2,000 GPUs in our data center on our lands, we no longer have to feel like we are second grade in the world of technology. We have the capability to do AI workloads. We have the capability to support an environment that is extremely complex, because the world of data is magnitude like you can't believe. The volume of the data, the velocity at which it comes at you, the variety of the sources, means that you have to have the capability in order to process this for meaningful outcomes. And what is a meaningful outcome? In the world of AI, it's about intelligence. And that's exactly what we have on our shores. If we then pivot one step further and think about this world of data sovereignty, many people speak about data sovereignty. We have personal information. We've got to protect all of our information. But the reality is, do we even understand what we sign up for? Often we sign partnerships that allow our data in this country to transcend the borders of South Africa and Africa into a landscape where we have no control. Because it just takes one decree in today's world that stops the data tap. And that's why it's important for us to think about data sovereignty on our land, so that we control how we operate, not at the mercy of where we don't have influence. And that got me thinking about a thought leadership piece that I wrote in the last week around economic sovereignty. Because one of the other speakers spoke about the fact that we create value on our land and we repatriate that value offshore. What about the fact that if we believed in ourselves, because we should, that we have all the capability, we have the capacity, we have the people in order to solution ourselves and therefore support ourselves and create the value on our lands so that we can uplift our country and our continent and our people with purpose? This is the challenge that we have, and ultimately we have all the ingredients to take advantage of it. I'll give you two examples and then I'll conclude. Think about a young Sipho in the middle of Mpumalanga that has to wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and walk 5 to 10 kilometers to go to school. When he gets to school, he doesn't have what we are used to in schools, desks and chairs and a good teacher and good textbooks, etc. He has to rely on whatever he finds himself with. But when he comes home, his parents are working at a mine, his mum's a domestic worker somewhere, and therefore he doesn't have the support structure that we are so used to. But if we introduce him into this world of digital technology and he has the connectivity at a rate that he can afford, he has the ability to go to YouTube and access the best teachers in the world. He has the ability of an email that allows him to communicate with the world and people that can support him. And in addition, he has the ability to look at past papers, etc., and get better. He has a tutor right with him. This is the world of technological revolution that allows people to rise above despite their environment. And the second example that I'll share with you is in the world of healthcare. And my good friend Stavros spoke about healthcare and how, many initiatives have allowed us to save many lives. What about those people that can't afford? The world about bringing inclusivity is important, because in the world of healthcare, We could have doctors and scans and a whole lot of other medical information at the hands of people to help them in terms of longevity. This world of digital revolution is about changing lives, changing this notion of exclusivity and creating inclusivity. I'm extremely humbled to have received this award. You know, we will continue to do our best to uplift and create inclusivity. And I thank you, congratulations to all the winners, and really a big congratulations to all the nominees as well, because it was really a really difficult decision for the judges. So thank you and have a good evening. Cheers.